What's up, guys? I am the new head coach for the Jets. As you can see, I've got my official name tag, head coach, with my picture. I'll go ahead and show you guys. It has my last name on it too. See that? Yep, official stuff. So, you might be wondering, how did I get the head coaching job? Well, I'm the understudy of Mr. Bill O'Brien, the best trader in the league. So with that guess, you wanna guess what I chose as my ability as a coach? Yeah, trading. Yep. Um, but Adam Gase put us in a real hole, didn't he? But don't worry, don't fear. If you're a New York Jets fan, I'm here. The Hunter Holland. I'm going to change this franchise. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence, probably not going to be able to get him. Justin Fields, probably not going to be able to get him. But we need a new QB. That is for sure. So we're going to try and get one. And I'm going to sim to next week because we are out of the playoffs. But we've got a lot of player upgrades. And we've got to work with what Adam Gase has given us. You might be thinking, not a whole lot. Yeah, not a whole lot. So, we will sim to next week. We are going to get straight into this. I hope you guys enjoy this series. I think it's going to be a fun one. This is a realistic rebuild, all jokes aside. Obviously, we did not have anybody make it, but the Washington football team and the Steelers in the Super Bowl. Interesting stuff. So, like I said, this team is kind of needing an overhaul. There have been reports out in real life that some guys are going to be traded out of the Jets. They're going to make a big move, and I'm here to tell you, I'm going to make that big move for you guys. You're not going to see yet, but let's check out the yearly awards, see who has won those. So, yearly awards, Patrick Mahomes wins MVP, Kyler Murray at the 2, Coach of the Year, Andy Reid, no surprise there. As for AFC, well, we'll do NFC first. NFC Offensive Player of the Year, Kyler wins it over Aaron Rodgers. I don't think so. Defensive Player of the Year, Roquan. He did have a good season, so I agree with that. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Justin Jefferson, probably going to actually win it. And Defensive Rookie of the Year, an Arkansas player, Cameron Curl. He honestly has stood out. And let's check out the AFC. We're not doing Best QB, all that. But let's go to Offensive Player of the Year, Mahomes. Defensive Player of the Year, this is definitely not Joe Schobert. This thing is glitched. It should be TJ Watt probably, or Miles. Justin Herbert definitely deserves the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. And Patrick Queen honestly is very deserving of the Defensive Rookie of the Year award. So, going into next week, we're entering the offseason. So I'm going to do this as if I were the Jets. We have 31 players to re-sign. That's a lot. So Gerald McCoy, he can see his way out of here. Marcus May. So here's the problem with this team. To be honest, nobody is good enough to re-sign. And the reason I'm saying that is none of these guys are really good. We could bring Brian Poole back on a one-year deal. And honestly, we might do that. We've got the cap to do it. Let me see, what, 7.19. I could do like a 7.15. Alright, so he's going to test free agency. And I'm not too mad about that. Marcus May, I'm not going to re-sign him. I think we can hit big in free agency in the draft. And I think that's what this team needs to do personally. So, going into week 1 of free agency, we'll see what's available. Ashton Davis returning. I'm looking for him to be a big, big factor on this team. But we've got a lot of free agents here that we will try and go for. Obviously, this team has a lot of work. So we've got to make a few trades. And realistically, there's one big trade that is going to happen this offseason, and I'm going to do it for them. And it's going to be getting rid of Sam Darnold. I don't think he's safe. I don't. I think their big trade is going to be that. And honestly, I think a good fit for him is the Colts. And if we can get their first-round pick for him, which I think will probably happen, they might get compensated a little bit more than what I'm having to do on this. But I think Sam Darnold ends up on the Colts. He won't be a Jet next year. So I'm going to trade him. And we get the Colts first-round pick. That makes a whole lot of sense. I think the Jets are going to try and do that. Ty Johnson looks like a pretty good backup for us. And Jamison Crowder, he's a star, but he's not going to be a star for us. And that's just the reality of things. This team is going to be making a lot of moves. With such a bad season, like, what do you expect them to do? Just do nothing? But, I mean, the Colts are T.Y. Hilton. Did he retire? So he's still on the team, but they don't really have that guy, that pretty good receiver. And I think Jamison Crowder maybe could be that for them. So if we can get their second, and we do, and honestly, Jamison Crowder, he would maybe fetch a third or a fourth. I don't think he would truly fetch much. Everybody else can stay. Ryan Griffin, I don't know if there's any interest in him. This is strictly a... Honestly, the Patriots did have troubles with their tight ends this year. So getting rid of him for a fourth rounder seems pretty legitimate. Belichick can take about anybody. And I think that's a good move. George Fant, obviously not going to be with us. And the Seahawks want him, being that it is a very, very, very massive contract. He is a solid tackle. It adds a veteran. So a third rounder isn't so far-fetched for him. And I know I have, no people on my team at this moment. I'll address that. I'll get there. So, really looking at this team, Henry Anderson is another guy that he's not going to be on our team. And the Bills, if we look at their ends, I mean, AJ Espensa, playing for a team that is looking to make a Super Bowl run next year, they need another guy there. We're going to look towards the future as the Jets are. It's going to take a while. I am under contract for at least 4 years. So we're making trades. We're doing things that, if I actually did take over, I would do. So the thing with Connor McGovern is his contract. I know we have money. I don't like his contract. And when a new coach takes over, one of the first things that's going to happen is people are going to get traded. Contracts, people are going to get cut. Trades are going to happen. Stuff like that. Now, I'm looking over here because I do think that when the time comes, the Chargers are going to invest heavily on their offensive line again. And we're going to try and get another pick here. Being that it is a big need for them to protect Justin Herbert. It's a smart investment. The guy is best rookie QB. He truly is. Last year. He was definitely this year best rookie QB by a mile. As for our left tackle, Mekhi Becton, if I do draft the tackle, I might move him to right. have not decided yet. Fatuski, Franklin Myers, everybody else is pretty much going to stay. So now we've got to do some work. We've got to sign a lot of guys. Cap is not an issue. Looking at the trade block, though, Marcus Mariota, he's getting paid a little too much for my liking. And if we can't get a good quarterback, we might go with a veteran, sign a veteran. Onwenu is on the block, and why, I have no clue. But we've got a lot of holes to fill. Okay? So, as the coach, let's look at the team. So this is obviously not a good team. We're in a rebuild stage. So hitting on free agency is going to be a big thing for us. Our offensive line needs a whole overhaul. Our receivers are not great. And honestly, our D-line is good, but everything else is kind of bad. And CJ Mosley, he is still hurt. He's going to be out for 22 weeks. So we have to work around him being gone for the foreseeable future. So we've got to build without him. And I mean, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it right here. And I'm going to give a lot of guys chances. I think there will be a QB controversy here. But main focus is going to be QB. Phillip Rivers, how he played this year, I don't see him getting another contract. Mitchell Trubisky, I don't know. He looks worrisome. Honestly, I'm willing to bring in a few guys here. And I think one of them is going to be Cole Mcdonald. And the reason being for him joining the squad, he's got 88 throw power. And he's been on the team for a while. Tyree Jackson could be another guy. And honestly, he fits the perfect size. He's a 6'7" quarterback. He's got great throw power. I actually looked at him in the draft whenever he was in the draft a couple years ago. But we're going to offer him a lower contract to come in and get a shot to play for us. And another guy I really want to give a shot to is Dwayne Haskins. I want to give him a shot. I think he's got true potential. Now, the problem with him is we need to probably wait just because other things are going to happen. We're going to draft, and we could get a rookie QB. So Tyree Jackson is going to be the guy for now. Now, as for the running back position, Matt Breida would be kind of fun to have. He's had a really good career with the Niners. But there's truly not a whole lot that's like just grabs your eye. I mean, sure, Todd Gurley, he's all right. Jamal Williams, he's played well. Fournette is really good. But I think we're going to make this kind of a passing offense. So we might give Breida a chance. I'm going to try and give him a 4-year deal. He wants 6.2. So we're going to give him that 6.18 for 4 years. And he really wants to accept it. We're not going to sign him for that much. There's no possible way that I'm going to sign him for that much when we might not run a whole lot. If you've watched past franchises with me, I don't throw much in any way, or I don't. Let me rephrase that. I messed up. I don't run much. And honestly, the O-line doesn't look like it's going to be able to uphold running. So now receiver-wise, we do have Denzel Mims. And I like Mims a lot. I think he can be a very good receiver for us. So I definitely want to get him in the rotation. But there's a few guys that I would like to, give a chance to this team. Jamal Agnew's actually not one of them. Uh, I'll tell you who is. Curtis Samuel. I think he can be a #1 receiver. He's currently with the Panthers. They've got a lot of talent, but 95 speed. He's got 93 excel, 88 catch. I think this is a guy we want to bring. And honestly, a 4-year contract would probably be better. I am going to kind of turn down the salary a little bit. If he wants the shot, he can take it. If he doesn't, so be it. Another guy that I want to bring with us is Day Westbrook. A slot receiver. Oh, he has an ACL tear. Well, never mind. He will not be coming to the squad. I would have loved to have him, but no. Now, John Ross, he's out 2 weeks, so he'll be back. He's 5'11". He's got 96 speed. I think, honestly, we bring him to the team. We give him a 4-year. I think he is going to be very valuable for us. Hopefully he signs. Do I think he'll sign? I don't know. Tight end wise, I don't throw to my tight ends much. So, honestly, signing one of these guys doesn't really make sense for me. Left tackle's fine. So Alex Lewis is pretty good. We'll keep him. We do need a center. And honestly, I'm very down to bring in a veteran center, as most of these guys are veterans. Ethan Pokic, honestly, looks pretty good. He's got good strength. His pass block is what we need, really. He wants a 2-year, $9 million deal. Truthfully, I give you a 3. And if you sign, you sign. If you don't, we don't need you. Greg Van Roten, we'll keep him for now. As for our right tackle position, I think we will end up probably drafting a tackle. But in the event we don't, I do want to go ahead and get someone. Actually, you know what? Adoga's good. We'll keep Adoga. End-wise. So I'm probably going to be running a 3-4. So we're going to invest in linebackers. Franklin Myers is good, so we don't need to do anything there. Honestly, Solomon Thomas would be a good backup to have. I forgot he tore his ACL. Oh, man, that sucks. I actually was looking forward to having him on the team. Could we potentially get a right end that's a little bigger? Takirus McKinley. He's had some off-the-field issues, so I don't know if that's necessarily a guy we want. Randy Gregory, not bad. Deatrick Wise has been pretty good for the Patriots. Everson Griffin. Do we get Dante Fowler? Dante Fowler could be an edge rusher. I give him a 3. He wants a 2. Give him a 3-year deal for $9.15. He's probably going to accept with us. Now, as for the linebackers, we've got some work here. So, my thinking is if we go to a 3-4, we need guys that can come off the edge and make a play. But more specifically, we need another middle linebacker. And I wish LJ Fort wasn't so old because I would pick him up. You'll never... BJ Goodson. He's 28, 6'1" run stopper. He's got star development. Danny Trevathan is good. He's asking for too much, though. And I'm not going to pay that much for him. Robert Spillane is very, very good. Honestly, BJ Goodson, if he has some good things about him, like traits, he does. What's his speed again? 82. Spillane, could we bring him in long term? Can he be a guy that built a foundation? He's coverage, so he could be my user. Can we bring him in on a 5? And obviously we can adjust his contract as we go. Right outside linebacker though. So we let Jordan Jenkins walk. To be honest, I didn't want him to walk, but he doesn't have any offers. So we're going to try and give him a 3. He wants a little too much for what he is. I mean, he wants 12 mil, and a lot of these guys do. Honestly, you've been a Jet for a long time. I assume you will probably sign with us no matter what. Cornerback-wise, this is where it gets interesting because there are a lot of guys here. So, with the way we're going to be running the defense, I do want to try and go more man. So I'm going to be looking at man corners. And honestly, Desmond King would be a huge signing. His man coverage is not great, but we can obviously work on that. And I'm willing to give him a 4-year deal, but you got to come a little bit cheaper. And as for our next corner, Mike Hilton could be a guy. He's very good. But, you know, we are looking for man-to-man. Joe Hayden on a 1-year could be interesting. He's got 88 speed. I think we bring in Joe Hayden. Yeah, I think we'll get him. I think he'll be a good safety for us, or corner, I'm sorry. Now, Earl Thomas, there's no way he gets a chance on this team. Haha, Clinton Deasy, he's pretty good. I do want to bring in a strong safety, being that we don't have one. Marcus May has an offer. Tony Jefferson. Carl Joseph. He's run support, so he's what I want. A 3-year is not bad. And if he accepts that, good for him. I'm going to get Jalen Mills as well. I'm going to sign him to a 3. He's going to be kind of a nickel corner, a nickel guy. He's going to come in, do his thing. As for our kicker position, we need a new kicker. I'm going to go Young Hoku. I'm going to sign him to a 4. And he should sign as well. As for our punter, we've got our punter. Do we make a splash? Truthfully, there is not a guy here that is just amazing. Halfback-wise, I don't believe I offered anybody crazy. I offered Matt Breida. You know, I could offer Fournette. I think we'll leave him for now. But let's just see how this goes. Because this will depend on who we draft. Alright, so I have a lot of guys returning. A lot of guys did accept. So the team is getting built how I want it to be built. And let's just check it out. So, we did get Curtis Samuel. Mims is going to be the 2 for now. A lot of guys returned from injury. But Robert Spillane, going to be a good guy for us. Now, Dante Fowler, I'm going to move him to an outside backer position. He's going to be our rush guy. But looking at the team, we definitely need a kicker. Again, we do probably need another outside backer that's not bad. Corner needs work. And our O-line, our left guard. We've got to get a left guard. We have to. Just to look, maybe we look at getting line. But I'm invested in getting one of these QBs. I think we go with one of them. Michael Parsons looks good. Jamar Chase. I mean, Jalen Waddle. There's a lot of guys here. And honestly, I like Creed Humphrey. If we can get him. Josh Myers, pretty good center as well. Could move him to guard. Deontay Brown looks pretty good. And one thing I did forget to do, once a new coach gets hired, well, basically the whole staff gets fired. Yeah, I just dropped some bars. Too bad I can't do that. But we're rocking with what we have. Halfback-wise, we know Harris probably the next Derrick Henry. Chuba Hubbard, another guy, honestly could be good. Travis Etienne. We've got options. So we'll check the free agents again. We do have a lot of cap room. Doesn't mean I want to spend it all. Desmond King, we still have the number 1 on him. Mike Hilton finally getting some offers. Philip Lindsay, still no offers. And I'm going to advance. I don't have anybody else that I want to get necessarily. Matt Breida, John Ross, Desmond King. And we had a few guys not accept. Okay. So right now, James Morgan, currently the quarterback for us. John Ross does sign. So we need an outside backer to sign. We've got to get an outside backer, and we've got to get a left guard. We'll see what's left. But getting Breida, massive. It was perfect. Let's go ahead and check it out. Do we want... I think we're going to draft a QB. So I'm going to pass. James Morgan, we rock with him if we need to. But truly, the only problem we have right now is guard. And Pat Elflin looks good. I'm willing to give him a 1-year deal, but it's going to be cheap. We're taking a chance on a guy. And hopefully he accepts. You know, if he doesn't, am I that worried? Not really. Javon Holland, nice last name. J.C. Horn, I'm looking to probably get a corner. But Dylan Moses, he'd be nice. Another guy is Joseph, and then Jeremiah would be fun to have. Amari Gainer's pretty good too. Defensive tackle, we don't really need. Kwity Paye, this dude's got amazing top skills. There's some dudes here. Let's go ahead and advance to next week. See if anybody signs. And we got Joe Hayden. So I'm content with what the team looks like at the moment. I would like to maybe get a receiver in this draft. St. Brown is pretty good. As for tight ends, Fairmeyer is good. Left tackle, Alex Leatherwood could be nice. Wyatt Davis looks pretty solid. We've got a lot of options. We do. So, we have a lot of holes. You know, the team looks all right. Our O-line's a little worrisome. But Dante Fowler, going to move him to outside backer, which will help. I think Spillane can be pretty good for us. And our corners are already locked down, so I might pass on the corner, getting a corner. But Jalen Mills, he's going to be a guy that I think will be really good for us. We've got 3 kickers on the roster. I got to get rid of one of them. But going into the draft, let's go ahead, look at these free agents that are still here. Le'Veon is still here. Will Lutz, Mike Davis, James White. A lot of guys are still here. And with injuries potential in the season, we could look to get some of these guys. But we are now into the draft. And the Jaguars must have won because we have the number 1 pick. That was not supposed to happen. So I will be back. I'm going to trade this pick to the Jags to make it fair. Because the real draft order is the Jags have the number 1. And we have the number 2. So I'm going to fix that real quick. Alright, so we're back. The Jags now officially have the first pick, which is supposed to be what is supposed to happen. So, they go Trevor Lawrence. No surprise. And we're at the 2 spot. Justin Fields is here. Trey Lance is here. There's a lot of guys that would be good. But to tell you the truth, I am going to trade down. If I were the Jets, I would trade down. And where I would trade down to is probably the Falcons. And I'll explain why. So the Falcons are in a place where they could use a QB. I mean, I know they have Matt Ryan locked up, but they could potentially use a QB. So we trade down. The Eagles aren't going to pick a QB. And if they do, so be it. But the Falcons, we'll see who they choose, and they do go QB. That's kind of what I thought. The Bengals won't go QB. They do. They go Zach Wilson. And the Eagles, do they go? No, but they get the left tackle, Penei Sewell. And my favorite QB personally in this draft is Trey Lance. So I'm going Trey Lance to be the QB for the New York Jets. He's got 94 throw power, 84 deep accuracy. He's got 83 speed. This guy, my favorite QB in the draft personally. And we'll see who the Dolphins, what they do. Probably Micah Parsons. They go Jamar Chase. So it's an interesting pick. We pick at 18. And we'll see who's still left as Devontae Smith went off the block. But Jalen Waddle is here. We've got Kyle Pitts. And this is a tough space for me to be. But Waddle's amazing. So I'm going Waddle. Jalen Waddle is now a New York Jet. Picked him at 18. Number 8 in the class. 96 speed. 98 excel. Change of direction 98. This guy's an absolute stud. We pick at 23. We have a chance to get somebody good here. Kyle Pitts is gone. So we don't get Kyle Pitts. Unfortunate, but expected. So now, truthfully, where would I go from here? Well, I trade down because we're already almost at the end. And the Jets really do need to work the draft board to be successful. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the Tennessee Titans here. I don't think anybody will pick a running back here, especially the Titans. So we go here, and then we get their third in 2022. They don't want to do that. Can we get a 5th rounder? We still don't get it done. Would the Bills be willing to trade up? Do they want to trade up? They don't. So we're kind of stuck in a spot here where we almost are going to have to pick. The Packers might be one to look to move up just because there are such good receivers here. So we try and trade with them potentially. And if they don't, we pick here. There's no harm. Would I have wanted Kyle Pitts to be here? Yeah. But you don't get everything you want. Kyle Pitts is a first-round talent for sure. So we got a draft. And, you know, looking at the draft board, there are some dudes here. But I'm going to go with one of my favorite backs. Next, Derrick Henry. Najee Harris. Only normal development. But this guy's a stud. 88 speed. His break tackle should be higher than 83. This guy's an animal. And I think he is the next Derrick Henry. And you might be thinking, why would you pick a running back there? This dude is going to be good. No doubt about it. Now, looking at my draft board again, we do need a tackle of some sort. Now, with Terrace Marshall being here, I think I have to take him, and I'm going to. Hidden development, he's 22. We've got to get Trey Lance, somebody to throw to other than just Waddle, and then we will start building up the O-line to help protect him. But here we go. Alex Leatherwood is still here, and he's going to be our selection. 6'6", normal development, out of Alabama. This guy is a stud, and he'll probably be looking to play right tackle. I think I am going to keep Mackay at the left. But here we go. In the second round, who do we want? We don't need another receiver. Honestly, this tight end is a beast. 6'5", 250, out of Penn State. Hidden development. He's got bad run blocking. He's got 83 speed. 90. I don't know. You tell me if that was a good pick. Personally, why did I not pick him? Dude is literally an animal. So now where we're at, we got to go probably defense. And to be honest, I didn't scout enough defense. I know Myers is here, which I am looking at. But we need to make sure we pick right here. And I'm probably at a spot where I need to trade down, just because I'm not as familiar with the prospects where I'm at. So I like Cleveland's trade. It's a lot of draft capital. So we're going to do it. We pick at the top of the third. And we'll see what we can get at the top of the third. Draft board. Deontay Brown, 24-year-old, 338 at right guard. He's got 91 strength. He looks to be pretty good. So I think that was a solid pick there. If that receiver's still on the board by the time we're at the bottom of the third, I'm going to have to go with him. He's not. But it's time to draft defense. And Israel Mukamu out of South Carolina looks pretty good. Tyreek Johnson looks good. But we're going to go with him. 68 overall. 21-year-old slot corner. He's got 89 speed. Not a bad pick. Not the best pick. But he's not bad. To tell you the truth, I'm going to trade down some more. Just going to look for the most draft capital where we're at. And I think the 49ers probably the best. So we'll trade with them. We go a whole round without picking. Be at the top of the fifth when we pick next. And we're looking for depth at this point. And this is one of our last few picks in this draft. Got nobody on the draft board. We've got to find something. I don't want to go corner. Middle linebacker doesn't look great. But the rush ends might be good here. And I'm going to go with Pete Werner. 66 overall, 21 run stopper. Coverage linebacker. Good depth role. Pick at the top of the 7th. And this should be our last pick. And it is. So, what do we need? What do we want is the question. And honestly, Felipe Franks, he's pretty good. Elijah Mitchell has a very good combine grade. We're going to take him. .91 speed. He's a good depth back. Breida probably going to get traded now that I think about it. But we're going to advance to the end of the draft. And we're going to look at our team, make some adjustments. So our team is now a 76 overall. And we've got some guys to trade. Marshall definitely going to be seeing his way into the lineup. Curtis Samuel, I don't know if we keep him now. But Brown is going to fit in good there. Alex Leatherwood. So I did neglect the defense. And we'll make some more trades before the start of the season. We definitely need to fix it up a little bit. But I think Najee Harris is going to be fun. We'll have to trade some guys now. Fairmouth is going to be good. And Trey Lance. I'm telling you, he's going to be good. We're going to be running a new playbook. But offseason recap, we are done with the offseason. We'll check out free agents, but maybe look at trades as C.J. Mosley returns for the preseason. He's back. So now, do we keep C.J. Mosley? The world may never know. C.J. Mosley probably going to get traded for somebody. Matt Breida going to get traded. Curtis Samuel might look to trade him. Might rock with Mims, Waddle, and Marshall. But that is going to be it for this one. When we come back to this series, it will be week 1 against the Colts. Preseason will be simmed. And the guys I'm going to give training boost to, that's going to be a big one. And actually, it's already kind of like I'd want it, except probably need to give it to Alex Leatherwood instead of Jalen Waddle. But that's going to be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoy me being the new coach of the Jets. And I will see you next time.